Romans chapter 1, verse 16. For I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, for it is the power of God to salvation for everyone who believes, for the Jew first, and also for the Greek. Paul was unashamedly sharing the gospel and eager to share his faith with others, especially in a time when people were competing against who had the better philosophy. We know for sure that Christianity was not the most popular thing to believe in, especially in the time of Paul, yet he didn't regard that. And he was unashamedly ready to preach the gospel for those who were in Rome. That's encouraging, especially in a time like today when it's not popular to be a Christian or a follower of Christ. As I was meditating on this individual came to my mind. His name was Paul Anderson. At his time, I believe it was in the 40s, he was the world's strongest man. And one of the things I found encouraging about this guy was he would go throughout the world doing his performances, picking people up, picking super heavy weight up. I believe one time he picked up 300 pounds over his head and lifted it two or three times. And one thing that I appreciated about him was at the end of one of his performances, he looked at the crowd of young boys and girls and he announced that he was the world's strongest man. But then he ended it by saying, "But I can't live one day without Jesus Christ. And if I can't live one day without Jesus Christ, then neither can you." This man would give altar calls and at the end of his performances, and people would just come to accept Christ. He had great strength to lift things, physical things, but the gospel has the power to lift the dead man out of the grave and give him life. And there's more power in the gospel of Christ. I was encouraged to see how radical he was to share his faith regardless of where he was and using the gifts that God had given him. My encouragement is just that as you meditate on this verse, you would allow the Holy Spirit to empower you to share your faith and to not be ashamed. Our faith in Him gives us that access to everlasting life. And that is a wonderful thing to share. So be encouraged, and God bless you.